Personally, on the vendor side, I offer a very detailed assessment of what the government is buying from the standpoint of hardware, software, services, taking a real good look at the systems integrators, what the systems integrators are doing these days, and how the increasingly important influence that they're having over the federal government, tracking what's happening in open source and commercial software, and just taking an interesting look at the hardware. Hardware prices are declining rapidly, as most people realize, and the government spending, though, is creeping upward slowly for hardware just because of the incredible amount of hardware the government buys. But what's happening in the open source arena right now in the federal government is a little different than that. By that I mean certainly the development of Linux over the past 10 years was very important because it gave a free and open platform that the government can use and that the systems integrators can use as they build and manage government networks. And this has allowed them to lower the price of their bids in some cases because they will be using open source platforms to build their applications on. Now, beyond that, it's kind of interesting to see how much Linux has grown in the federal government, because if you were to go back 10 years or so, it was a fraction of 1% of Linux penetration in the federal government. And now it's grown significantly. It's up around 11 or 12% and could be as high as 24, 25% by 2010. That level of growth is very impressive, and what it's doing is it's bleeding off the traditional Unix users, not so much Windows, but some of the other operating systems that have been lingering out there, and the growth is substantial, like I said. But the interesting second act to Linux, as far as the federal government is concerned, is the so-called trusted Linux platform. That emerged in the last year or so, and it's just now starting to find penetration in some government spaces. Right now there are some open source enterprise applications. I'm not going to go through the names of them because none of them have very good market penetration, fractions of 1% at this point. But it's kind of interesting to see these guys are about where Linux was more than 10 years ago, 11, 12 years ago, and look how far Linux was able to come, in just a short period of time. So I do kind of expect to see the same thing emerging with enterprise applications, especially since what you see at the government level, especially let's go to the state government now instead of federal government. States often are spending a lot of money with systems integrators, custom application developers, and traditionally those people have been able to develop something for one state and turn around and sell it to another state and sell it to another state. So the state governments are saying to themselves, hey, why are we doing this? Why don't we build a consortium and a management system by which we can own and operate these applications and offer them for free to other states and reduce everybody's costs? So it's an idea whose time has come. It doesn't mean that things are going to take off immediately, but it means that it has the attention of the government, has the attention of the systems integrators, and it'll be interesting to see where this effort goes long term.